Sorry.
Question about that.
Questions from the pre-test or questions from your workbook? Each of the following equations represents a line with a slope of 0.5 and a y-intercept of negative 0.25. Okay, so we start every question again. Y equals mx plus b, which represents every x and y coordinate on the line that you're talking about. All right. So what we need to do is we need to find out an m and a b that is going to satisfy the equation that's given to us. This one says it has a slope of a half, or 0.5. So I'm going to make it a half of x, and a slope of, and a y-intercept of minus 0.25, minus a quarter. Right? If you look at it, all of your solutions are given in general form, right? So I need to change this to general form. What are the two things that I have to have in order to get general form?
No fraction.
No fractions and zero. And that's equals 0. So how do I get rid of the fractions here?
Times it by the number.
Okay, what's the number here?
So you times 1 over 2 by 2, and you times negative a quarter by 4.
Okay, sure. But remember, whatever you do to one, you have to do to the other, correct?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to say to you then is this: as opposed to doing it that way, is there something both these numbers go into that I'll end up canceling them out? They're both go into 4. So how about I multiply everything by 4? So 4 times y, 4 times 1/2 over x, minus 4 times a quarter. Okay? 4 times y? 4y. 4 divided by 2 is 2, so 2x is what I'm left with right there. And 4 divided by 4 is 1. So now what I want to do, get it all equal to 0. So I either have to move the 2x and then subtract 1, or I have to move the 4y. So I will subtract the 4y, and you're always putting it in alphabetical order. There's your solution. Okay?
So if you had subtracted 2x and the negative 1, would you have come out with something different?
It's still right. It's just
Okay, so that's exactly what I would have, Casey, which is exactly opposite in signs. So in a multiple choice question, if you did do this, and it didn't look like it was going to match any of them, I would times them all by negative 1. That would change that to 2x minus 4y subtract 1. Okay? All right? Okay? Other questions today?
Number 16 on the pretest.
All right. So y equals mx plus 5. Or sorry, b. Mx plus b. Now, looking at the coordinates, Casey, can you get the y-intercept right away?
No. Yeah, you can, because x is 0 and y is negative 5.
So there you go. I've got b already. Because x is 0. When you were looking for any of the intercepts, that's when the other guy is 0. When you cross the y-axis, x is 0. So there's our start. Now, can I find the slope from that table? How do I find the slope?
Rise over run.
Rise over run. So what do I need in order to find the slope out of there?
Y and an x coordinate.
2 of them. Right? Do you have 2? Sure you do. Okay? I'm going to use the first 2. Minus 5 minus 20. Is that 1? And the next one's 0 and negative 5. Okay? So I'm going to make this one x1, y1. And this one x2, y2. Again, it doesn't matter if I switch them. It's still going to work. As long as you have the x2 and the y2 in the same brackets. So my slope is y2, which is what?
-5.
Minus 5. Subtract y1, which is minus 20. x2 is
0.
0. x1 is
-5.
minus 5. Is there anybody in here that does not know where I get those 4 from? Everybody understands that I just matching them up. y2 is in this position, x2 is in this position, y1, x1. Okay, that's all I'm doing. It's not very complicated, right? Okay, so minus 5 subtract a negative 20 is like minus 5 add 20, which is 15. And then I have 0 subtract a negative 5, which is 0 add 5, which is 5. And when I reduce it, what do I get? 3 over 1. And when I write in my equation, y equals 3x minus 5. Casey? Did you follow what happened there?
Yep.
Okay? Alright, so my goal, my starting point always, the starting thing I do is always write that out first. Write it out first, and then figure out how you get M and B. Whether you look at a graph, whether you find a coordinate, whether you find 2 coordinates, whether you're given a slope, whether you're given the y-intercept, whether you're given a coordinate and a slope, and then you gotta find the B. Whatever it is, it all begins right here. And you're only looking for M and B. Okay? Other questions?
When your general form is going into your slope point form, the signs change, right?
Like with the negative switching.
Yeah.
You told me not to say that.
Oh, I see. Yes. I understand the question now. Okay, so I have y minus y1 equals slope x minus x1 and x1 and y1. Okay, so here's how it works. Yeah, you're right. So if I have y minus 3 equals 2 x minus 4, let's say add 4 here. Okay, so my coordinates then, all right, my x is in the bracket with the x value, it's a negative 4. Okay, and my y is in the bracket with the y value, it's a 3. It's the opposite, because this is x subtract a negative 4. That's how come it turns to an add. And this is y subtract 3, which is a positive number. Okay, and what's the slope in this equation? What is it? Whatever's in front of the x. Okay, that's a good question. All right, any other questions? Yeah, Brad?
Can you do 17?
Okay. All right, what do I not know right now, Brett?
We're looking for the line or the equation. I'm trying to get the equation.
Trying to get this equation right here, right? What do I need in this equation? What do I always need in this equation? I need numbers for what? M and B. M and B, right? So where am I going to get my M from in this question?
That would be 3.
Yes. Okay, so Brett says that the M comes from the other equation. Why? Because it says that this line is parallel to the line given to us. And what do we know about parallel lines? Same slope. So right off the bat, Brett's able to say, okay, I know my M value is 3 because it's parallel to the equation y equals 3x plus 2. Right? So now what's the other value that I need to find in this?
-1.
Well, no.
Or B.
What do I need to find? I need to find my B value, right? Now, if I can't see it, then I don't know where the 0 is for x, so then what do? What else were you given in this question?
-1.
Nope, what else?
Oh, the y value.
Okay, so I'm given a coordinate, correct? So my new equation goes through that x and the y. So I'm going to put it in for x and y, and then solve for my b value. All right, so what's the coordinate?
3 and -1.
3 and -1. So -1 equals 3 times 3 add b. Right? 3 times 3 is? I'm going to subtract 9 to this side. I'm going to get minus 10 equals b. So subtract 9 over here. What's my equation, Brett? Y equals 3x minus 10. All right? Again, same starting. Write this equation out and then find out what pieces of information they gave you to get m and then what did they give you to get b. Okay? All right, other questions? Okay, so we're scheduled to write this test tomorrow. All right? And since there's another hour left in here, I'm sure you're going to be able to get through it and get ready for it. So if panic sets in the next half an hour, then let's look at some more questions. Fair enough? Okay? All right, you got the rest of the time.